Masandawana. We're back with another installment of the Yellow Corner, and this time we bring you the preview of our Game Week 8 matches. We host Abafana West End at Tuck Stadium on Saturday night. And yeah, today I'm joined by a special guest. I'm joined by Martinez. I'm joined by Temba's one is number one Stan, the great Maestro. Maestro, how's it, my brother?
I'm good and you, my brother. Long time coming.
It's been a long time coming. I can't believe this is your first time on the Yellow Corner. Eh?
Yeah, just too many more. There will be more coming.
No, most definitely. Most definitely. I know we took you away from Twitter. I know you'd be fighting a battle at Timbers One right now. So I apologize for stealing you for 30 minutes, to share so that you can share your views with Masanda One.
He fought for me yesterday, so we are good now. We are good. People understand the 10 that takes out the 6.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Finally, a win on our previous match against Cheaper United. I haven't had a chance to watch the match. I had issues with the load shedding, but yeah, I hear that the boys dug deep. I was able to see a bit of the highlights, but I didn't see much of the game. But yeah, we're now on top of the log, Maestro. Are we moving or it's done now, as it always it normally is once we go on top?
Every season, like last season, once Sundowns goes on top, you know that no one removes us. But I think we're gonna stay there. I don't see anyone removing us.
Are we staying there until the last day of the season because we are good, or we playing good, or are we staying there because the teams who should be fighting this thing with us are not good enough?
No, normally, a Sundowns team, normally, from game 7, you should know that we are going to see the Sundowns team. I mean, if you look at yesterday, yes, the performance wasn't that good, but I feel like we played much better. We were more patient. It's unfortunate that we played against a low block team. I mean, if we scored the chances that we had in the first half, we could have easily won that game.
Yeah, no, I saw some of the chances that we had, man. Funny enough, you should mention playing against the low block team. In our last 3 games, we've played two teams that play in a low block. This time we are playing a team that can play football, a team that's synonymous with a good football. I mean, they are called Abafana West End for a reason. Are you relieved, or now we're going to play a team that will not necessarily maybe have a go at us, but that will try and play football? Even though in last year's semi-final, MT8, in the first leg, they had a proper low block. I couldn't recognize that team. I couldn't believe that's Arrows. I mean, at some stage we had over 90% ball possession in that game. Are you now relieved of it, having seen Arrows in their last few games, who will play a team that will play an open game?
But I don't think that they will come at us playing an open game. We'll be playing at a very compact stadium. I don't see them coming at us, open. And if you look at their last 3 games they've had, I mean, two wins and a draw. I think they are the only team that have won 2 games in a row. So I have a feeling that they will come for a draw. So I foresee maybe a bit of a low block, especially first half. Honestly, it will depend on our performance. How we play the first half will determine what will happen in the second half.
Speaking of a compact pitch, do you think playing Kotax, it affects our style, it affects how we play?
I would say it affects our style of play, but it's a bit of an advantage, because when you play against speedy teams, I think it is much better for us, because most of the time we are playing a high line. So if you play at a compact pitch, it's better to play a high line there, because teams will find it difficult to play behind our defense.
That's a great point. That's a great point. I had never actually thought about it. We actually play a high line, but in a compact pitch, it also helps us defend. We use it to defend. Maestro, yesterday Grant was back, even though he was on the bench. we started a Dragon as a center back. Do you think do we have enough center backs? And do you think our MDC produces enough quality in such situations where we have the center backs injured or not available, we can go to surprise and say, hey, or Mfana one or two was center back. Do you think our MDC produces enough quality, or they just don't? We regressed in terms of how we used to be. I mean, you look at the players that used to come through at the ranks at Sundowns before, most particularly center back position. Do you think we have enough, and is our MDC produces good enough players, center backs, to get promoted into the first team?
To be honest, the way we are aggressive in the market suggests that our MDC is not giving us enough quality. I mean, allegedly we signed the Moroccan defender who the club hasn't announced yet. So that should tell you something about our MDC team, that is not producing enough quality for us to go there and say, hey, can you give us a 10 player? But there's this player, a center back that we have. I think he was at Swallows last season. I don't know. I forgot his name.
Mohammed.
Yes, my question is he part of the team or what? Because I think in this situation, he could be the player we go to. But also looking at Tobin Vala's performance last night, to be honest, I'm really relieved that we have someone we can rely on in such situations.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, now I'm really worried about the quality that's coming out of our MDC team. You know, I tried thinking back, who was the last center back that came out from MDC and was able to break into the first team and cement his place. It was Mutshekga. It was the late Mutshekga, you know. And since Mutshekga, we haven't had someone coming through from MDC. Mostly it's been the offensive players, you know. Yeah, so it would be nice, man, to have, you know, I believe our team should have maybe 2 senior players for each and every position, and then have one boy from the development who they can always call on, you know, like they can integrate into the first team higher. So yeah, man, it worried me that we had to have a Mutobi play center back, even though you say he was good, but it worried me now, because you remember last season when we played the weekend we played Chiefs away, towards the end of the season. Had we qualified for Champions semi-final, we would have played semi-final that weekend, and we didn't have the center backs that weekend. So we've started a new season, and there still seems to be an issue center back. So hopefully it will be rectified. Let's talk about Arrows Maestro. What have you made of them since the start of the season? What can we expect from them on Saturday?
Our team.
No, Golden Arrows.
Golden Arrows. I think it's a team that plays so much with speed. I mean, looking at their last 3 games, they play against TS Galaxy. They played the flat 4-4-2 with this boy Pule Mori playing as a false 9, and then against Amazulu and Shipa they played the 4-2-3-1. So it's a team that is flexible. You know, it depends on how we approach the game. But also I'm expecting them to play to catch us on a counter attack, to be honest, because I don't see them matching our midfield.
Yeah, you know, now what I've picked up from Bonane, I've realized that this season they are one of the few teams that are very consistent. They are backline, the goalkeeper, as well as central midfield. There'll be one change here, but they try to be as consistent as possible. And they create and concede a high volume of chances. They create a lot of chances, opportunities, Golden Arrows, but they also concede a lot of chances. They give away a lot of chances. I mean, they concede a goal every game. You look at their XG, it's 1.4. but they've only scored 0.83. Ne? Their shot conversion rate is 5%. Ne? And prior to their game against Chippa, they had 50 shots and only had 2 goals, according to Laduma Analytics. So it tells you they're not clinical. Before that game, they'd only scored, before game Chippa, they'd only scored 2 goals. So they create, they play well, but problem comes in that area where that crucial, critical area, so they struggle scoring the goal. Excuse me. And every game here, every game here, that I've watched, it's a basketball match. It's end to end. Arrows can create a great chance, and then seconds later, they are giving away a great chance to the opponent. So the game is up on, they lack control. They don't have that thing. You know what? For 5 minutes, let's just knock it. Let's keep possession. So they don't have someone who will cool down the game and say, no, let's knock the ball, let's relax, let's rest in possession. You wanted to say?
I wanted to say they're also not good at defending set pieces. I mean, if you look at the game against Chippa could have scored from like 4 set pieces if they were taken well. So we should also look into that this coming weekend. And also, you're right when you say they're a team that wants to play like a basketball team. Hence, I said that for us to beat them, to be honest, we need to make sure that we take out the speed out of them. That will be very key for us, because if you're gonna play at a high tempo, it will give them an advantage. And also keep in mind that they are well-rested team, so I expect them to be much fresher than us. So it will be very important how a player like AJ will manage the game for us.
And I think for now, their most important player, Sibia. Sibia dictates for them from deep. He's good from deep. He's good in the final third year opposition. But with that said, they lack someone more midfield who will give them a bite. They lack someone like Mtetwa from Stellenbosch, someone that will protect defense. Zuke used to play central defensive midfield, but now he's seemingly now a center back. So I think they lack someone like that. And against a team like Sundowns, you definitely need someone who will perform that duty. And their goalkeeper, always used to call that goalkeeper who keeps for Ghana and that team from Orlando, error-prone Ofori. I think the Arrows goalkeeper, Gumede, is error-prone, man. He spills a lot of shots. He flaps. He misjudges the cross. He's prone to a mistake. And then there's the danger, Mutizwa. Even though he hasn't started as many games as you normally know Mutizwa will start. But when he plays, him playing on a shoulder defender, which is something I'm really, really worried about going into this game, because I have a feeling they're going to start him. Him playing on a shoulder defender, I think if he starts, he will target Mutobi, because I'm not sure if the technical team will give Grant a start in this game because of how Mutobi performed, as well as the offensive players that Arrows have. So maybe they might start into a Grant again, and then Mutizwa will play on his shoulder.
Yeah. Also, we must the very important player for them is Puria Mori. I mean, if you look at the last 2 games, he scored 2 goals, so he'll be a very important player. We need to keep an eye on him. Like, he'll play more like a free role for them. If you look at the last 2 games, so we need to manage him very well, because he's a very dangerous player. But most of the time when he plays against Sundowns, hopefully that will work for us. He'll have one of those games.
Hopefully. Modi is a really smart player, man. He one moment he's playing on the outside, come on left wing, and then he's in between the lines, and then he's centrally more nine. So he's very dangerous. You need to keep a close eye on him. Let's talk about the lock leaders. Maestro, what do you expect from Sundowns on Saturday? What do you expect from them, and how can they beat Golden Arrows?
I think the most important, the issue that is bothering me this season is the lack of consistency within our lineup. I think that has affected our performance. So for us, for me personally, I believe if we don't make many changes from the team that played Chippa United, I think we could have a better chance to beat the Golden Arrows, because I feel like there will be more fluidity between the boys and a bit of understanding. So for us to beat Golden Arrows on Saturday, I think we need to minimize their counterattacks and make sure that the game is played at a very good tempo for us, because if you're going to play a high speed football, I expect Arrows to give us problems.
We shouldn't allow them to dictate how the game is played. If they come at pace at us, let them come at pace, but we shouldn't do the same. We leave spaces and then we vulnerable. I think the most important thing when you play a team like Arrows with forwards who are nippy and like Modi, Mutizwa, or rest defense. I think rest defense should be proper in this game. So once rest defense, because we'll have majority of possession. So you need to make sure your rest defense is proper, and then I think we should overload a midfield because they play a midfield two, and they don't have someone who knows how to defend more midfield. They lack that person in the keyboard and a bite out. So they play guy two more hard, and if we overload, even if we don't overload the midfield, the 80s are on I think we can punish them. And then I think the other thing that we need to do in this game, you look at how what I said, their goalkeeper, he's prone to the error. Take as many shots as we can from outside the box, and then I almost said I'm putting my money on this, but something tells me we're gonna score from a goal where he parried the ball or he dropped it. Because he's always been like that, and he has such great height.
And also,
and
also Chippa scored one of their goals from him spilling the ball. Exactly.
Yes. And if you watch a lot of the highlights, game he does something like that in each and every game. So, and another thing, we need to win this game within score within 80 minutes. They don't give away goals in the last 10 minutes. Our last 3 goals have come right at the death. So don't take it to the last 10 minutes. They've considered 0 in the last 10 minutes. And another thing that I'd love to see, it's Alande Shika playing close together, close to one another, like Shika normally does when he plays Le Gaston, because I feel like at times maybe Alande we are Shika, but again he's not used to how we play and stuff like that. I saw you chatting to someone where he didn't have preseason. So yeah, but for someone who hasn't had preseason, he's been really good. I've been impressed with him. So I think if they can try and link up with one another around that zone 14 area, and will create a lot of chances if they try and link up as much as possible, because I think they are our 2 most creative players in that area. So them being close to one another will help us in chance creation. Is there anything you want to add, Maestro, or are you ready to give me your lineup?
I wanted to say about Alan. The one thing I liked about him, especially yesterday, is one player who's not afraid to take a risky pass. I mean, that's the challenge that we've been having. If you look carefully, players are afraid to, that pass, that risky pass. So he's one player who likes to take risk, and I think him being close to Zwana, like you said, it will work for us.
Give me your lineup.
Oh, my lineup.
Yeah, let's see you plumbering here.
In goal, I'll be playing a 4-2-2. Yeah, Diamond.
Okay.
So in goal, I'll have Williams, and then I'll play.
You went 4-4-2, ne?
Yeah.
You said 4-2-2. I should have just kept quiet and let them finish you on Twitter for saying 4-2-2.
No, but that's what I like calling it, But okay, in goal, I'll have Williams. I won't drop him. I'll have Motau. And I'll also start Mvala in this game because in the last game he got a clean sheet. So I don't see the reason why we should drop him. And then I'll have Rashin Deruk and Lake because obviously Muriba won't be available for this game. And then I'll keep AJ, and then I'll drop Mokwena from Kulisi because I feel like in the last two games he has not given us that performance that we need from an 8. So I'll play Kulisi and AJ, and then I'll play Zwane and Allende, and then in the front I'll play Peter and Nasir.
Maestro, your team here is short. You said you playing 4-2-2. So you basically playing infield players, they 8-2. Oh, you want to say 4-2-2?
4-2-2-2, yeah, Diamond, with 2 10s, and AJ Moise 8 with Mkulis.
Oh, okay. I think I'm the one who miscounted. Okay. I'm starting a team similar to yours. I'm keeping the same back 4, back 5 that started, obviously replacing Maposa with Lion, and then I'll have AJ, then Tole, the Blesser, the Mbule, excuse me, and then I'll have Shika, Le Shalu, as well as Alande in my lineup. So it's basically similar to the team that started, just a few changes here and there, because I think Debza Leneo are due a rest. I think they're the only players that have started all games this season apart from Williams. So I think a timeout Anyani or prediction.
Oh, this one it's very tough. I foresee us winning this game 2-0, man.
2-0. I'm going for 3-0. Last season we gave them 6, ne? So I will.
Yeah, 6.
Yeah, I think we'll give them half of that this season. Who's scoring?
Zwane has to score, man. He has to put on the show at that stadium, for my people. And also, I'm expecting us to score from one of the corner kicks. I think Rashin Deruk will score too. It will be Zwane and Deruk. From your side.
Shalu is firing blanks this weekend. Now I don't know, man. I have every prediction of mine always is Shalu scoring, man. So yeah, I said 3-0. I think Shalu will score. Shika will score. I think I'll give Allende a goal as well. And yeah, just like that, that's a wrap. That's another installment of Masandawana. Maestro, thank you very much for joining us, man. I hope it won't be the last time you'll join us before we go to the December December break, before we go to the World Cup break. And please, guys, don't forget to subscribe. We've just reached over 400 subscribers, so please continue to subscribe, and you will see me and either Raps or another special guest next week, Friday, when we preview game here, Amazulu, ne? Our next game here, Amazulu.
Yeah, we're playing Amazulu on Sunday, yeah.
On Sunday, 18, ne? Yeah. Thank you very much, Maestro. Cheers, Masandawana.
Away.